Hey everybody, J.R. Fisher here, and it is Tuesday, and man, we got some exciting stuff to talk about today, and I'm really glad y'all are here. It's great to see everybody out and wanting to learn how to make some money online, which is the cool thing, right? That's what we want to do. So today, I really want to talk about you starting and being successful online. And, I see so many people, and over the years, I've met so many people that really, really want to be able to have that freedom of, being, I'm sitting here now, and I was thinking about it. I got my Starbucks mug here. I don't know if you can see it there. It's got a little Starbucks on there. Most mornings, that's where I'm at, is at Starbucks. And when I go in there, I see people who are, coming and going, and they're in a rush, and they would love to be able to make money online. So this is what this whole session is going to be about today. It's about the steps you're going to need to take, realistically, no BS, the steps you're going to need to take to make money online, because you can do it, first off. That's the first thing I want to get in your head, is that, so many people feel like, well, that's for somebody else, or that guy's special, well, she's really smart, and nothing could be further from the truth, guys. You can take somebody, I hate to say it, but you can take somebody with average or way below average intelligence to do this. I'm not real smart at this stuff, and I got it figured out. And, when I say I got it figured out, that's not 100% true, because you never really have it all figured out. But I want to walk you through the steps that you're going to need to take to really, really get good at this stuff and to really make money at this stuff. And more importantly, when you get your business going to where it doesn't fail, because I see a lot of people that don't get a product, or, they'll start selling something and then it dies off and then they've got nothing. So do me a favor, if you would, put in that comment section there where you're at, what your name is. I'd like to see who all's in here. It's in the little chat section there. I'll just put hello right there. And I'd love to see who's on this call today. I really would. And I'm going to give you something worthwhile. So here's the cool thing. You're not going to waste your time. If you tuned in and you said, well, yeah, I'll see what this is, see if it's any good. It's going to be good. And it's going to be good because it's real, and it's my story, and it's how you can apply the same techniques, the same steps I did. So do me a favor, if you would, put in that little chat box there, who you are, where you're from. This is a lot different than I use normally every webinar or Webinar Jam software, and I very rarely do this live thing. I did it once the other day, so I want to make sure I'm doing everything right. I want to make sure you can hear me. So if you put in there that you can hear me, that would also be nice. I don't want to be thinking that I'm talking and nobody can hear me, because that would be kind of bad. So I know there's a little bit of a time delay between you guys typing here and me broadcasting. So do me a favor, put in there, that you can hear me. Put in there what you want to get out of this, because I can turn this training session into a couple different things. I have a plan that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to have steps that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to share with you how you can do this stuff. You really can do this stuff. But if you have another area that you are interested in, that you want to know more about, put that in the chat section now, and I'll be happy to entertain that. So first off, the title of this was Buy a Tesla Cybertruck by Selling Cell Phone Cases. And that is very, very true. Carl from LA, I'm in your mentoring program. Hey Carl, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So I guess you can hear me, obviously, because you typed something in there, so that's a good thing. So guys, I want to walk you through what happened with me, and my story is not unique in as much as I went down the same path. Now, maybe you won't start off selling cell phone cases. Maybe that's not your thing, and that's okay. But you are going to start off selling something. Okay, something, and that's the key. Is I started off selling something. So to take you way back, 2009, I had a decent job. I made okay money. I was a single dad. The unfortunate part was I was working like 6-7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. I was managing a sales crew. Good. He says I'm coming in loud and clear. That's great. And And I didn't have any time. I mean, as a single dad, I didn't have any time with my kids. I didn't have any time for vacations. I mean, it was like I was dropping my clothes off at the laundry because I didn't have time to run laundry at night. I was doing my kids' laundry at night. And when I said I was a single dad, I was full-time single dad, so I had them all the time. And here's the thing. I woke up one day and I was like, I don't like my boss. I don't like him. I just don't like this guy. He was morally bankrupt. He drank and did drugs and he was a pretty high-level executive. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't like in a bum position. He was one of the owners of the business, and he never worked. He was lazy, and he wanted me to work harder and harder and harder. And he wanted me to do more and more and more. And his example that he set was, he was always at home, drinking and calling up and seeing how we were doing. And I was over it. And sometimes it takes that break with what you're doing every single day to make you want to make a change in your life. And my break was I couldn't stand this guy anymore. I just couldn't do it. I didn't like him, right? And it's really, I kind of thank him for that, because had I liked him, had he been a really nice guy, had he been really nice to me, my pay was okay, and I may have stayed. I may still be at that job, and I think I would have been dead because, I had a health scare about 3 years ago. I ended up with heart surgery, and I know on that job, I wouldn't even have been able to leave to go get checked out. So I probably would have just ignored it. Probably wouldn't be talking to you guys today, if I had stayed on that job. And so I was really glad I did. So here's what I did. I said, well, I need to sell something online. What do I sell? And I'm like everybody else. I thought, well, I just got to find the best-selling product, which was a mistake. But in hindsight, it all worked out. And the best-selling product, I looked it up on eBay at the time in 2009, was cell phone cases. And I looked at what it cost to buy them, and they were like, 50 cents to $2. And they were really cheap to buy these cheap cell phone cases, like this here. Got one right here. But, of course, this one here is a little bit more expensive. I can afford a more expensive cell phone case now. So I decided I was going to sell these things. And that was a good move. It was a good move because when I decided to sell cell phone cases, and I'm going to tell you I failed at it. I'm going to be really honest with you. I did fail at that. But it was a good move because I got started, okay? And that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. I got notes off to the side I'm going to be looking at. You got to start with a product, okay? If you don't have a product, get somebody else's product. It doesn't matter, okay? It's totally irrelevant what your product is. The two things that newbies really worry about is what's the best product and what kind of logo can I do? It's like the two silliest things in the world. I want to have a great logo. Where do I get a great logo? Logo's not going to do you much good, okay? Most of you probably don't even know what my logo is, and I've been online for 10 years now. But anyhow, so I bought these cell phone cases in bulk. I think I had to buy like 50 or 100 at a time. So I'm buying these cell phone cases, I'm listing them on eBay, and it's like I'm getting more and more inventory. And in most people's eyes, like, oh, that's great, you're getting more and more inventory. Well, the problem with cell phone cases was the profit margin. And yeah, sure, that was the number one thing that sold on eBay at that time. But the profit margins were like 50 cents to $1. And understand, I would get somebody's order, and I would have to type it in. I would have to print out a label. I'd have to put it in an envelope. I'd have to seal the envelope. I'd have to put postage on the envelope, and I'd have to get that envelope to the post office. So for 50 cents to $1, that wasn't a lot. I started calculating out my time, and it wasn't looking good. But that wasn't the big problem. The big problem was that back then, and it's probably the same way now, is people changed their cell phones so much, and they would change their cell phone cases. Now, on the surface, you would say, well, that's good because you could sell more cell phone cases. The problem with that is every time they changed their phone, it required a different kind of cell phone case. So if I had bought 50 or 100 of these cell phone cases and only sold 10 or 15 of them, I was left over with all these extra cell phone cases. I had all this inventory left over. So that was an issue. So I don't know if any of you have started your business. If you have, put it in the comments there. If you've started a business already, you've tried to do some of these things. So one day I woke up and I had all this money invested in these cell phone cases in my closet because I kept putting the extra ones in I had a little walk-in closet. I kept putting the extra ones in there, and it was full. It was like I couldn't get in and out of that closet for the cell phone cases. And I really hadn't made any money. So when you hear the story, you go, well, you failed. You failed to sell stuff online. But I didn't. And here's why I didn't fail. Even though I lost money, even though I had inventory left over, here's what I learned. I learned how to list a product on eBay. That's something. I learned how to package up products. I learned how to, send them out. I learned how to print out labels. I learned how to use a couple different pieces of software. And I said, well, I'm not going to quit. So at that point, I was looking around on eBay, and I found a lot of like camping supplies and stuff like that. So what I did is I bought a bunch of little camping gadgets, little like, keychain type things and multi-tool type things. And I started buying those, and those started selling a little bit better. But keep in mind, this is back in the days when you had to buy inventory to sell it. You guys don't have to do that anymore. I have a couple courses, but one of my courses shows you how you can drop ship directly to your end user. So you can literally list products on your website or whatever websites, and they can be shipped to your customer. You don't have to inventory these things, which is super cool. But anyhow, I had to buy all this inventory, and I was selling camping products. Now, I wasn't making much money. I'll tell you, I was probably making maybe a few $100 a month, $200-300 a month. Obviously not enough to live off of. And the next thing I want to tell you is, as you get involved in selling online, it's going to open these doors that you don't even know exist yet. It's funny, a few months ago, I was at the Guerrilla Marketing Convention in Florida, and I was one of the one-stage speakers there. Now, that door got opened by my failure of cell phone cases, because I would have never, ever gone there. I would have never, ever had that opportunity if I hadn't started selling those darn cell phone cases. So get back to selling all these camping gears and devices and all that, but I had small ones. I always was smart enough to buy small items because I could stack those up in my utility room, because my closet was full of cell phone cases. So I got the closet full of cell phone cases that aren't selling. Now I'm starting to put stuff in my utility room. And it's funny because one of my neighbors, she would come over every now and then and help me with the kids and watch them if I had to go somewhere, if I had to work late or whatever. And she came over one day and she says, what in the world is going on in your utility room? I said, what do you mean? She says, you have all of this camping gear and stuff piled up in there and all these little gadgets. What are you doing? And I said, well, I started an online business. And she said, well, are you making any money? I said, yeah. She said, how much money are you making? I told her it was like $200 or $300, and she looked at me like I was insane. She says, well, that's nothing. I mean, why are you spend hours a night doing all this stuff and you're only making $200 or $300? I said, yeah, but I just feel like there's something there. There's something there. And so I was going along and I was selling my little camping gear and stuff like that. And I got a call from a guy, literally a phone call. I picked up my phone, and he had gotten my number because I had started a website called Survivalcave. And what I did is I put some of my camping gear on eBay, and then I put some on Survivalcave. And I guess he had found Survivalcave, so he calls me and he says, I see you're selling this camping stuff. I started a survival food company, and we have these freeze-dried buckets of food, and if you'd like, you can sell them. I can sell them to you, and then you can sell them to your people. And I thought, why not? I need something to sell. So what I did is I ended up listing a lot of these products on eBay, and they were these freeze-dried buckets. Now, back then, you didn't have to deliver your products immediately, okay? eBay gave you some time, and Amazon gave you some time. They don't anymore, okay? So all that's changed. But I would literally take an order on eBay because I didn't have the money, and then once I got paid for that order, I would take that money and I would send that money to that company that had the freeze-dried food, and they would send the buckets to me, and then I would take it out of the box, put a different label on it, put it back in a box, and I would ship it out to my customer. So I started doing that. Now, that started working a whole lot better. Now, keep in mind, I already had a few months of skill, right, because I've been selling some stuff online. And all of a sudden, I'm doing like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in sales. And I was like, wow, this is pretty good. So I made a deal with the company. I said, well, look, you guys are making this food. Why don't I just send you the money and you charge me a fee and just ship it out to the customer for me? Why I didn't think of this before, I don't know, because I was a newbie. Let me get a little sip here. So that was our deal. I would sell these products on eBay. And what I did, you can't do this on eBay anymore, but I'm just telling you how silly some of the things I did was, like they had like this 90 serving bucket, and I would not just list it one time, I would list it 20 times on eBay. And I would put maybe a little bit different descriptions so it looked like a different product. But my rationale was, if there was more of those 90 serving buckets on there, then of course I would sell more of them. And I think it actually worked a little bit because over time it went up, and I was doing 10,000, and I was doing 20,000 a month. In 1 month, I hit $80,000 in selling these buckets of freeze-dried food. And I said, oh my God, that much money. And shoot, I think I'm Something is off with your mic. You developed an echo. I'm sorry about that, Carl. I'll try to move this mic around here. Is that a little bit better? I hope it's a little bit better. I can always switch mics if I have to, so let me know if it doesn't get any better. But anyhow, so this one month I hit $80,000, and I was looking at what my salary was, and it was not $80,000 a month by far. Now keep in mind, this wasn't all profit. Okay, this was not all profit. This was total sales, but I was doing pretty good. I was probably doing 30% profit. So, I was making $20,000 a month, and I was like, wow, this is it. I'm done. I found the golden goose, and I'm quitting my job. And I went in, I told my boss, I said, thank you, Carl. He says it's better now. I told my boss, I said, I'm quitting. I said, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with this place. It's over. So I did. I quit. And then I got the idea. I said, well, this stuff's selling on eBay. What if I could sell it to people one-on-one? So what I did was I started going around to gun shows. They had a lot of gun shows. We were in Virginia at the time. I'm now in San Diego. So I know Carl's up in LA. He's not far from me. But in these gun shows, what I would do is set up these big displays of all this, freeze-dried food I had. And I would sell it at gun shows. And I would do that on like Saturdays and Sundays because that's when they had these gun shows. And then during the week, I would sell online. And it was going pretty good until one day, one of my orders was like a week and a half late. And I contacted the company and I couldn't get a hold of anybody. Not good, right? And then they said, well, we got hit with a bunch of orders. There's some delays. It's going to be like 2 weeks. I'm like, darn, man. Because, the people on eBay, they don't want to wait 2 weeks. And that's not cool for somebody to wait 2 weeks. But I went ahead and I said, okay, that's cool. And I kept taking orders. And we were doing thousands in orders. And then, 2 weeks went by and they didn't deliver those buckets. And there were more buckets now at this point. There were more food buckets that were owed to people. Now I'm starting to get complaints on eBay and they're starting to pile up. And then they were saying, well, it could be up to 30 days delay. Now, what I didn't know at the time is they weren't actually making those buckets. They had another company making them. And at that time, they were selling to Costco and they were doing Costco's orders before they did this person's orders. So that was causing a problem with deliveries. So I had about 350 listings on eBay at the time. And I just kept listing them and kept putting more and more on there, even though it was the same item. But I had realistically probably 8 different items. And so one day, my wife and I, who had come to work for me now, she had quit her job. And we decided, we were going to do a gun show one weekend, and she was in the vehicle with me. And I pulled up my phone to check all of my listings to see how they were doing. And I looked down, and they were all gone. Every one of them. Every one of my listings were gone. 350 some odd listings were totally wiped out of eBay. And I'm like, well, what happened? Is there a glitch? What is it? So I then was checking my bank account for some reason, and I noticed there's over $20,000 missing in my bank account. Now, to me, at the time, 20 grand was a lot of money. I mean, it was like, that was serious. This was a problem, right? I didn't have an extra 20 grand. That was like money I had to use to pay for some of the products. So I contacted eBay, and they said, yeah, you had a lot of complaints. Your orders are not going out on time like what you said. So we removed all your listings. I'm like, you just removed them? That was it? They go, yeah, we removed all your listings. I'm like, what about my money? They're like, well, we don't have anything to do with that. I said, well, yeah, you're eBay and PayPal. I saw it took $20,000 out of my account. They said, well, you have to contact PayPal. So I contacted PayPal, and they said, yeah, you were having a lot of refunds, a lot of complaints. So we took out a reserve. I said, what the heck's a reserve? They said a reserve is when we take out money to cover any refunds that may occur in the future. In other words, I didn't owe them any money. I didn't have to have that money set aside. They just chose to do that, and that's how they operated. And they weren't a bank, so they didn't follow normal banking rules. And what I didn't know was that since PayPal was how I was getting my money, and I had a bank account attached to it, they could actually get to that bank account and take money out. So here I'm sitting with no job. My wife had quit her job also to help me out. And she wasn't my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend, by the way. We hadn't gotten married yet. And so I had no money, and I had no deliveries, and I had no listings on eBay, and I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh my God, it was terrible. So I was like, well, what do I do? I said, I know I can sell these kind of foods. The problem is I don't have anybody to deliver it. So what I did is I looked around, and I decided I was going to make my own freeze-dried buckets. I decided that I would have better meals because the ones I was selling didn't taste that good anyhow. and I would come out with my own brand. So I built a new website, and the new website was called Survivalcave Food. And for those of you watching this, you can Google this afterwards. Survivalcave Food's one of the largest selling survival food companies in the United States. We've sold on thousands of websites, including Walmart, Sportsman's Guide, Sears. But anyhow, I built this website, right? And this website was Survivalcave Food. That was really inventive, right? Because my other website was Survivalcave, so I added the word food to it. And I put all the products there, and I thought, well, I'll get rich because I'll just put all these products on my website. People will come there and they'll just buy the products, and it's that easy. And it was not that easy because nobody came there. Nobody showed up. I wasn't selling anything. So I'm sitting there one day and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I wish I had the traffic. I wish I had the visitors on my website that some of these other survival sites do, because they have so many people coming. I know if I had that kind of traffic, my product's good. I know people would buy it, you know? And so then one day a light bulb went off. I'm like, well, what if I could get my product on their site? In other words, what if they sold my product? So I came up with this idea and I said, well, I'm just going to start calling these sites and they'll list my product on their site. And then when they sell it, they can just give me the order. They don't have to buy any inventory and ship it out. And I thought, well, this is a no-brainer. So I started calling website after website. I started emailing website after website. They had never heard of me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't even comprehend the product that I had. It wasn't popular at the time. And I probably made several hundred phone calls and nothing. And then one day a guy said, okay, I'm building a website. And when I get it finished, I'm going to put your products on there. Which sounded great to me because that was a ray of hope. That was something where somebody said, hey, I may do something with you. And nobody had said that before. So that got me excited enough to keep calling all these websites. And then I actually did get 2 or 3 websites that said, yeah, we'll go ahead and list your product on here. And yeah, we'll sell it if, we don't have to pay for it until we get our money. And I was like, yeah, I'm down with that. And this went on and on and on over a period of months. And I kept calling day after day after day. I kept sending email day after day after day. But up to this point, if you've been with me since the beginning of this call, I'm learning, right? I'm learning about survival food. I'm learning about shipping. I'm learning about PayPal. I'm learning about eBay. I'm learning about softwares. I'm learning about, how to account for all this stuff. I'm learning. And that's what I want you guys to understand about this story here. My story is about learning. My story is about getting started. And if you haven't started your business yet, that's the beginning, okay? It's not if you're successful in the beginning, because you probably won't be. And I know you don't want to hear that, unless you get some, advanced training, which I did put in the description. I forgot to even mention that. There is an e-commerce mini course in the description that you can get for free, no credit card or anything. And there's also a training I'm doing on Facebook ads that you can sign up for. So both of those links are in the description. So you can check that out later on. I don't want to lose you now because you're listening. So anyhow, I've got this survival food now, and it's starting to sell on these websites. And I'm still going to the gun shows, but now I'm taking my food with me. I'm taking my survival food with me. And then I run into another issue. A lot of people are saying, well, you don't really have any protein. All you have is these freeze-dried vegetables and soups. You don't really have meat. So I checked it out, and doing freeze-dried meat, really not a good deal. Didn't taste good. Nobody really liked it. So we came up with a process, and I got with a manufacturer where we can actually can meats. And we did beef, chicken, turkey, pork, and ground beef. And those canned meats we offered up as a survival food because they had an indefinite shelf life, like 12, 15 years. And all of a sudden, all these sites really picked up on these canned meats. And then Walmart picked it up, and then Sportsman's Guide, which is a huge retailer in the Midwest, online presence too, picked it up. And those meats took off. I mean, they took off in a big way. We started having people ordering $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 orders, and it just skyrocketed from there. Now, at this point, I could say, well, that's the end of the story. I did well online, but that's not the case because at the time I was doing all of this, the politics, people in the country were scared about getting their guns taken away and their food supplies taken away. So they were really, really buying. But since then, the politics have changed a little bit. And, we've got more conservative people in office. So those sales have gone down a little bit now. Now, they're still good. We still sell all the time. But what I did do, and I was smart enough to do, and I'll tell you the same things. I put notes over here. The first thing I did is got started with the product. The second thing I did was I increased my knowledge base And I learned a lot of stuff along the way, a whole lot of stuff that I didn't know. I mean, I couldn't send an email when I started. I was terrible at it. I hunt and peck with typing, which I still do. I can't type well. But what I did was I branched out a little bit. People started asking me, how do you make money online? They want to know, how do you make money online? And so I started telling them, and I started teaching people. And that's another thing I would tell you is help other people. And that's what this video is all about today. I'm not selling you anything. I'm here to help you. I'm trying to encourage you and show you what I went through. But you want to help people. But then people said, well, you could help more people if you had a course. And, people would love to know how to sell products online and not have to buy inventory and all that, because there's this drop shipping model now. So I did decide to do a course. And the people that were asking me this were people at ClickBank. And ClickBank is one of the world's largest digital marketplace for products, digital courses and all that. And they said, we need a course on selling physical products, because on ClickBank, that's what we're going to start doing. So we need a course on that. Would you make one? So I put together a little team. We put together a course, and we built a course called Digital Cash Academy. Now, when we built this course, ClickBank wanted to sell it because they make money. Obviously, this course was a $1,000 course, and they get a percentage of that. So what they did was they said, well, we'll do a webinar with you. Why don't you put together a webinar, and we'll sell this particular course on the webinar. And I thought, what's a webinar? You know what a webinar is. But I did some research and figured it out, came up with this webinar, and I did one. Make a long story short, we did about an hour and a half webinar, and we sold over $333,000 in courses within 72 hours. $333,000 of courses within 72 hours. But keep in mind, if you've been here since the beginning, which I know a lot of you have, it all started with a cell phone case. This right here, the cell phone case. That's what it started with. And it started with a cell phone case because I started with a product. It doesn't matter what the product is. You probably won't be selling that product on down the road. Now, sometimes you will, like we still sell survival food. That's fine. But that worked out. And then people started saying, well, yeah, I know how to, I took your course, your Digital Cash Academy course, and I know how to list products online, and I know how to do drop shipping, but I need traffic, and I don't understand this Facebook ads thing. What do you have that can help me with that? And I was like, sounds like another course. So I came up with Facebook Ads University, which is another course I have, and I think there's a link in the, there's a free training on Facebook ads. That's right, you can look at that in the description. There's free training. And in that course, I actually showed you how to run ads. And then I had people say, well, gee, that's good, and I like your courses, but I'd rather you just taught me one-on-one. That's what I want. I want you to just teach me one-on-one. And I thought, wow, that's going to take a lot of time. I'd have to charge a lot of money for that. So I got a few coaching clients, and I started charging them about $500 an hour, I think it was. But then I got too many clients, and I couldn't do it. So I said, well, I'll go to $1,000 an hour. Now I'll go to $2,000 an hour. And I was still too busy. And then I decided, well, maybe larger businesses need this help. So I had a lady approach me, and she says, yeah, we want you to help us with some marketing for our company. And she paid me, hold on to your hat here, $63,000 for 90 days to work about 2 hours a week. $63,000 to work 90 days to work about 2 hours a week. Now, keep in mind, this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for what? Cell phone cases. Cell phone cases, this thing right here. That's what I started with, cell phone cases, okay? So, guys, what I really want to tell you is, and then the next thing I will tell you that really helped me a lot is I did a lot of networking. And networking can be, talking to people online, contacting other people that are in your same niche, talking to other people, go into conventions, I would go to traffic and conversion. I went to some masterminds I got invited to. Never really had to pay for the masterminds because in many cases I was actually helping people out in the mastermind and teaching them stuff. But understand, I was a guy, a single dad, who literally, was just working my butt off and had no free time. This morning, I really appreciate, first thing I want to say is I really appreciate you being here because you could be anywhere. Your time, once you spend your time, it's gone forever. I mean, seriously, it's gone forever. So the fact that you will sit here and listen to me talk now, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. And so I owe it to you to give you information that's really going to help you out, to give you information that you can use, to give you information that's actionable, to give you real value. Now, if you're getting real value, give me a like on this, subscribe to my channel. There's a subscribe button down there. I would really appreciate that. There's also a notification button off to the subscribe. And a lot of people don't realize this. If you don't click that notification, It looks like a little bell there, and it's a little menu pops up, and it says turn on all notifications. You click that. Every time I do one of these trainings, every time I do upload a video or whatever, I can actually share it with you guys. Now, I will take any questions, so if you have any questions, let's see, Carl's saying here, hope we can do lunch one day. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. But if you guys have any questions about what I've gone over today, and my sequence of events is that, as you can see, it was not a straight line, nor was it planned. And I think a lot of you guys, say, well, gee, I got to get the right plan to get from plan A or point A to point B, and you really don't. You don't need a plan. Your main plan is to get started. That's the big thing, and having that exact plan stops so many people. I mean, because there is no exact plan. The story I just told you and walking through all those steps, and by the way, the Cybertruck thing, I put a deposit on it the other day when it came out, and that's, you did it with cell phone money, I guess, I don't know. But I was able to do that, and I was only able to do that, and I'm only able to get that because of what I've done online, the effort I put forth online. So any questions about that, feel free to put those things in the chat. I'll be happy to answer anything you got there, and I'm going to try to get over to this other screen here real quick. Let me see here. There we go. Give me just a second, guys. We'll go over to this OBS software, which is right there. Okay, yeah, okay, all that's working. So when we get back over here to YouTube, there we go. So this is what it takes. These are the steps it takes. And the steps are basically try, all right, don't quit, and react when there's a problem. Don't quit. Like a lot of people will say, well, geez, when they took all that money out of your bank and when they took down all your listings, I mean, that was your business. It would have been so easy just to quit. And it would have been, but I would have had to go back to that boss. I would have had to go back to that job. And guys, your situation, whatever it is now, if you're watching this, obviously you have some interest in having your own business online, having your own business. There's nothing better. I'm telling you, there's nothing better. Get in there and get involved. I can offer you the free training here on my channel. Make sure you subscribe, and down in the description, I'm also doing a master class on Facebook ads, so you know how to do that. It's in the description. There's also a free e-commerce course in the description. All you gotta do is click on it. You don't have to buy anything. There's no credit card, nothing like that, and get more training, because that's what I can attribute all of our successes to. And we've had a lot of failures, okay? But I can attribute all those successes to just getting more training and keep trying and getting more training and keep trying. These are the things that are gonna really propel you, because what happens with most people is they run into a difficulty, they run into a problem, and they just quit. They go, well, that didn't work. No, you just quit working on it. I've had people say, well, Facebook ads don't work. I tried them. I'm like, really? You tried them? That's like saying, yeah, I tried going to the gym, but that doesn't work. It does work. You have to stick with it. You have to put in hard work. You have to consistently do this. And I know there's a lot of people on YouTube, there's a lot of people on the internet will tell you, hey man, you can start making money tomorrow. You're going to make millions of dollars this year, and you don't have to work at all. It's all on autopilot. That's BS. There's no such thing. You've got to work. Anybody who's been hugely successful online, I will tell you, has put in the time. And that's what you're going to have to do, is you've got to put in the time. I didn't go from, making 50 cents on a cell phone case to literally making millions of dollars in products, physical products, digital products. I didn't go through all of that and not work hard. I'm not going to tell you I did. I'm not going to tell you it was easy. I'll tell you it was simple. Once you have the steps, once you know what to do, once you apply these things, it's simple, but it's not easy. And there's a difference in those two, okay? It's simple to go to the gym every day. I'm going to go today. Matter of fact, I got my gym shorts on down here now. You can't see those. But I'm going to go to the gym today, and it's simple, but it's not easy. And I don't always want to do it. And that's the other thing I would share with you. You're not always going to want to do things. But as you do things, you're going to learn new things. It was just last night, I was working on a master class with my wife, because she does dog training. And she has a dog training master class she's doing that's to get your dog to stop barking, which is incredible. It's really cool. It works on any dog, any breed, any age, doesn't matter. It's a really cool course, and I'll try to remember to put that link in here if you guys are interested on that. But anyway, she's doing this master class, and one of the things we had to do is I wanted to put a GIF, which is just a little, like a video that plays over and over, a little funny thing. And she had one, and it was in video form, and we thought, well, you can just upload it, and it will be, in these slides, and it will work, because we were using Google Slides. and it didn't work, and we couldn't make it work. And we were like, okay, we've got to learn how to make this video into a GIF. So we searched and we found a website and we popped in her video and we turned it into a GIF and we put it into these slides. Now, here's what's important about that story. What's important is, as we were working, we ran into a problem. And when we ran into that particular problem, we looked for a solution, and we found a solution, and we learned how to do something else. So that's what happened. So if you think, well, I don't know a lot of the stuff that you do, JR. I don't know how to find products. I don't know how to source things. I don't know how to run ads. I know that. I didn't either. Nobody does. Nobody pops out of the womb and knows how to do all this stuff. All this stuff is learned. But the cool thing is you can learn it. You could attend my master class. You could learn how to do Facebook ads. You could get the free e-commerce course I've got in the description. You could learn how to do some e-commerce tricks. I've got some really cool email tricks in there. And I didn't know any of them. I didn't even have an email provider. I didn't know about sending out emails. Most of you guys that are on this call today actually showed up because you got an email from me. And you know, I'll tell you something else. A month ago, I didn't know how to schedule a live video. Didn't know how to schedule it. And today, I'm sending out emails that has a link to my live training. Pretty cool. But here's the thing, as you get started, you're going to increase this knowledge base, increase this knowledge base, increase the knowledge base. And as you do that, you get better at this stuff. You can't quit. You know, I want to get in your head to where every time you feel like quitting, you hear me saying, you can't quit. Remember, I was that single dad. I was that guy who didn't like his boss. Maybe you don't like your boss. Maybe you're not getting paid enough. Maybe you would like to take, 5 vacations a year like I did this past year and visit 9 different countries. Maybe you would like to do that. You can. Stop it, okay? You can do this stuff. You've just got to get in your head, number one, that you're no different than me. I'm no different from the other people. And that was the thing that motivated me, was that I would look around and some of these people making money. I'm like, they don't look any smarter than me. They just know some stuff I don't know. And that's the big secret, guys. The big secret is figuring out those stuff you don't know and working hard. That's it. It's really that simple. You don't have to live the life you're living if you're not happy with it. Now, if you're happy and you like what you're making, and you like how much time you've got off, and you don't care about somebody else scheduling your time or telling you when to go to lunch or when you can have a vacation, hey, you won. You did good, okay? But if you don't want somebody telling you when you can go eat, when you can take a bathroom break, when you can go on vacation, how much you're going to earn every month, if you don't like that, then change it. Do something about it. Do this process I did. If you didn't come in the beginning of this video, go back and watch the beginning, because I had no clue what I was doing, okay? And now I know some stuff, but you know what I also know? I still need to keep learning every single day. Last night I learned a new thing. That was turning a video into a GIF. I learned that last night. I've got that now. Got that, okay? And as I keep working and I keep trying, and I know how to schedule these. This is a live YouTube video, right? I know how to schedule that stuff now. I know a little bit about lighting now, okay? My lighting is better than when I first did videos. You can actually see me. It was all dark in the shadows before. If you saw my setup now, it's a whole lot different from when I started off just using a cell phone. And there's nothing wrong with a cell phone. That's the other thing that I would tell you, is the thing that stops a lot of people is they're like, well, I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right computer. Look, if you've got a cell phone, okay, you can sell stuff online if you've got a cell phone, right? If you've got you got to have a smartphone. But if you've got that, you've got it. And somebody says, well, I don't have a really good internet connection. Go to Starbucks, okay? And I'll tell you something, don't sit with what the circumstances are and think you can't change them, because they built a new Starbucks by our house, and it's the closest one to me. It's really nice. And when they built it, I thought, this is perfect. I can go in there and work and it'd be awesome. But the internet was so bad. I mean, so bad. Many days I would have to come home to upload stuff and all that. So I kept telling the manager there, and he says, tell corporate. I think I sent a message to corporate. And then one day their district manager was in there, and she met me and we were talking, and I said, man, the internet here is terrible. It's really bad. She goes, really? She goes, I didn't know that. And yeah, Marcus, who's the manager, says, yeah, I've been telling everybody at corporate. Nobody's done anything about it. And lo and behold, it got back to corporate, and they changed the internet. This is a true story. They changed the internet at that Starbucks, and it is lightning fast now. So the things that you really don't think you can have any effect over, try to have an effect. Try to change things. Don't take things as the status quo. Don't accept things the way they are. Try to change things. Try to make a difference. Do that in your own business. I do that all the time. I don't like to accept things that aren't in my favor. I don't like that. So if you get that attitude, and if you have that I'm not going to quit attitude, and you keep working and you keep doing things and you keep giving back, right? I'm trying to give back right now. I'm trying to share this with you because, most people won't do anything about it. They're going to listen to this and they still won't do anything, but some will. And I know that for a fact because I've seen it happen. I've trained people. There's a small percentage that are really going to take this to heart and they're going to really do something. Now, my question is, why not you? Why not you? How is it that other people have done it and you haven't? Why not you? You've got what you need right now. Don't think that you're missing anything. Don't think that you're lacking anything. You've got what you need right now. And if nothing else, if I can get that in your head, if I can make you believe that you've got what you need and get you started, I won. I did really good because I helped somebody out, and that's what this video is all about, is helping you out and showing you my story. It's showing you it's not a smooth ride, showing you it's not all easy, showing you I didn't know things, showing you I didn't have money, showing you all the stuff that's really real instead of saying, hey, overnight I became a millionaire. That's just BS, okay? That's not how it works. It is hard, but it's very rewarding because if it wasn't hard, if it was super easy and anybody could do it, nobody would be impressed that you did it. Okay, nobody would be impressed in things that are easy. If you say, I can do one sit-up, people are like, wow, so can everybody else. Well, maybe somebody can't do one sit-up, but the point is, when you do hard things and you achieve things, people admire you. They like that. So if you've gotten some value out of this, guys, do me a favor, give me a like, give me a thumbs up down there, right? Subscribe to my channel if you would. Turn on your notifications. Click that notification bell there. You're welcome to put any comments you want on this video. I will answer any comments you put on here. Now, I'm kind of scared because if I get thousands of them, I'll be really busy. But any comments that you have, put them on this video, okay? Any questions you have. If you're trying to figure something out, if you're stuck somewhere, I'm here to help you. So make sure you do that. Don't forget, in the description, there's a link to my course, my masterclass, and it's free. You can attend it for free. It's $175 value, and it's the Facebook Ads Masterclass. You'll see that link in the description down there. Also, there's an e-commerce course. It's a $97 value. You can get that for free. All you do is click and learn. Really simple stuff to do. So check that stuff out. Give me some good comments in here, guys. Make sure you like this video. I really appreciate you being here today. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and get back to work. Not that I haven't been working, right? This is work now. This is work. Typing and talking, right? That's my work, okay? But you can be doing the same thing. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I will see you real soon.